Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are LA.
We are live from Seattle on Fox Sports West, where the Angels are getting ready for their final game of a 9-game road trip. Angels in action here against the Mariners. Hi, everybody. This is Terry Smith along with Mark Gubisaw, filling in today for Victor Rojas. It's been a very good road trip for the Angels so far. Angels have won 6 of the 8, have had a little bit of a download as far as what's happened here in Seattle, dropping 2 out of the first 3. But, Mark, overall, the Angels go into the All-Star break after today playing some pretty good baseball.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Terry. When you think about it, 11-15 to start with, but since that point, 36-25, which is second best in Major League Baseball. Only the Pittsburgh Pirates have a better record during this particular point. They're playing much better baseball. It all started with a walk-off win against Seattle at home. Hitting the baseball better, pitching extremely well, and the defense has been there, no question about it.
Well, we mentioned a good road trip for the Angels, and it got better for one of the Angels who's headed to the All-Star game.
Yeah, can you imagine, Terry, even spring training, didn't know if he was going to get a spot in the rotation, but Hector Santiago has been unbelievable. ERA, which is third best in the American League, 2.33 ERA. In 15 of his 17 starts, he's allowed 3 or fewer runs. Guy's been outstanding. The fastball command great. Around the strike zone, giving Mike Scioscia innings, and he definitely deserves to be an all-star, and he's pitched like one.
And he's a guy that Ned Yost can use in various ways, a starter or a reliever. Angels and Mariners, Game 4 is next from Safeco Field in Seattle. You're watching Angels baseball on Fox Sports West.
Angels baseball is brought to you by CarMax. Start the search for your next car at CarMax. CarMax, start here. By Jack in the Box. Taste the new black pepper cheeseburger today, only at Jack in the Box. And by your Southern California Toyota dealers.
And the Mariners wrap up the first half and head to the All-Star break. But first, here's today's Tools of the Trade, brought to you by Ram Trucks. Looking at the difference between Andrew Heaney early in the season and what we see right now, in which he's been dominant. He's a guy that threw across his body a lot more, and you see the arm going across his body. Now, better balance over the pitching rubber and working downhill, hitting the spot. Arm side fastball, glove side fastball has been outstanding. Shoulders square. All came about because of Mike Butcher and Andrew Heaney looking at tape and figuring out what to do to be able to make sure he stayed in that balance. And when we come back, we have the lineups and the first pitch. It's the Angels and Mariners next.
Filling in the past couple games for Victor Rojas.
You've been doing fantastic, Smitty.
Well, Goobs, it's always a pleasure to have you right beside me. And as we get ready for baseball, the Angels here today getting ready to face the pitcher who beat them earlier this season, Taijuan Walker. Let's take a look at the Angels lineup. You see Johnny Giavotella in the leadoff spot for the Halos. Trout in that 3-hole. He's been red hot. Bottom part of the batting order a little bit different in the 8-hole. Matt Joyce is in there. Chris Iannetta behind the plate for the Angels, and he hits in the number 9 spot.
Taking on Taijuan Walker, who's 7-6 so far this season. Been throwing the ball much better of late, but my go-tos to be successful against Walker is work the counts. When you're ahead of the count as a hitter against some very good numbers this season, and elevate that fastball, because he'll get that fastball over the middle part of the plate. He has given up 16 home runs, 8 to lefties, 8 to righties. So when he elevates that fastball, make sure you connect on that pitch and don't fall behind and deal with his secondary pitches.
All right, let's take a look at the Mariners defense, and they had a late change as far as their lineup. You see out in left field the former Angel Mark Trumbo. He wasn't originally there. Franklin Gutierrez is scratched because of back tightness about a half an hour before the game. Nelson Cruz, who was going to DH, he's in right. Infield pretty much the same, although Logan Morrison plays first base today here for Seattle. So a gorgeous day. The roof is open, and we are just about ready for baseball.
You mentioned Logan Morris. He's done a solid job at first base. .999 fielding percentage, which leads the American League in that category. Career high 82nd start at first base. Former outfielder with a very good throwing arm. Very good as that 3-6-3 double play.
We are ready for baseball on this Sunday, and the first pitch, Johnny Giavotella is taking. That one is right in there. A first pitch fastball at 95. Count is 0-1. Giavotella 3 for 12 in the series. .268 batting average this season. Infield is backed up, and here's the next pitch. He swings at that one and lifts it foul to our right, back and out of play. So it's 0-2 on the Angels' second baseman. Well, the Angels have already gotten some good news, Mark. Tampa Bay beat the Astros again. Houston goes into the All-Star break having dropped 6 in a row.
Amazing. They have not swung the bats well at all, and they're feeling a little bit of pressure at this point. They need that All-Star break.
Here's the next pitch, and that is a called third strike. A fastball taken by Giavotella, so he's out on 3 pitches. And that's how the game begins today here in Seattle.
I mentioned against Walker, when you fall behind in the count, he has a couple really good pitches he can go to. His fastball is 93, 97. He has a cut fastball that's pretty solid curveball and a really good plus changeup. The last 6 starts, 5-0 with an ERA a little over 2.5. Started off slow, had a fantastic spring training. We got hit around quite a bit beginning part of the season.
Here's Cole Calhoun at the plate, and the first pitch, that one misses high. Yeah, you're right on the money. 4 starts in April for Walker. His ERA was 6.86. He has really calmed down. Had a very good month of May and also in June. Here's the next pitch. There's a cut and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike to count.
And the one thing you notice about Walker, he basically is starting in the stretch position. It's a modified stretch position from the full windup with no one on base here. It gives you a better opportunity to be more consistent in the strike zone. That way you're not having a lot of body parts, front shoulder flying open.
There's one that's in there for a strike, and the count now 1-2. Andy Fletcher is the home plate umpire. He's kind of known as a hitter's umpire, generally a fairly small strike zone. Jordan Baker, the umpire at first. Bill Miller, the crew chief, the second base umpire, and Doug Eddings, the umpire at third. Just underway. Beautiful day for baseball in Seattle on the pitch. Grounded right to second. Cano has it and has plenty of time to throw out Cole Calhoun.
One thing to keep an eye on this game as it progresses. Cole Calhoun and Walker. Remember at home, Cole hit a ball, just went foul, and then he ended up striking him out. They both looked at each other, and then another play down the line, and you can see that right away. They're both very competitive. Walker is a high energy guy, very, very competitive, very athletic. Does a nice job fielding his position, but that's going to be something to watch as this game progresses.
So here's Trout, and the first pitch on the Angels All-Star center fielder is in there. Mentioning All-Stars, Hector Santiago got some great news today. He's going to represent the Angels Tuesday in Cincinnati as well. Here's the next pitch, a swing and a miss. That was a fastball. Trout's had a good series, couple of homers, 5 hits, 4 RBIs, has a 6-game hitting streak, and he homered in that game against Walker back in late June at the Big A. The pitch, that's fouled back on the right side, out of play.
That's a mistake pitch for Walker. 97 and an 0-2 pitch. Zanino wanted that fastball up. That's right down the heart of the plate. 10 pitches thrown so far for Walker, 9 strikes.
Here's the 0-2, and that one bounces in. We've seen Walker in the past get that fastball up to 98 miles per hour. First round pick of Seattle back in 2010. He's from Yucaipa. And here's the next pitch. That one is low and away. 2-2 the count.
You know what one of his favorite shows are, Smitty? The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
There you go.
I figured you would like that. It's a Philly thing for you. Loves Will Smith.
2-2 the count. And here's the next one. That's pop back foul just to our right. That was close to the Angels radio.
Yeah, I think Roger Lodge might have had to make a diving play for that one.
2-2 the count. Here's the next pitch. Lifted foul again on the right side. That's going to get back to the upper deck. So Trout is battling here against Walker. Angels were blanked here last night, so looking to get that offense generated. The Angels have dropped 2 out of 3 here in Seattle this series, and there's a hit for Trout, a low liner that's going to bounce on out to Nelson Cruz, the right fielder.
That is an absolutely perfect swing from Mike Trout. Some tough pitches in that at bat. A good fastball. It was downstairs. You mentioned 98-mile-an-hour fastball from Walker. I stayed back on that, shorten up his swing and looking hit the ball the other way. A line drive to right field. Home runs are great. We all love home runs, but that is an absolutely perfect swing for Mike Trout to hit the ball that hard to that side of the field.
So here's Albert, who's been pretty quiet in this series. First 3 games, 1 for 13. The pitch, and that's inside. It misses. That was a nice and easy 95 miles per hour right there. Wow.
Yeah, he's definitely special. They've really liked his stuff for a long time, but he's really been pretty good as far as throwing strikes now.
Here's another one that's fouled off just to the right of our booth.
Hey, the Gold Glover, Mark Langston's going to have to make a play or two today.
There you go. Yeah. They have the lights on, although the sun is shining brightly and the retractable roof is back.
By the way, now Trout 3 for 4 in his career versus Walker.
Fair lead for Mike, not going, and Albert pops this one up on the third base side. Seager battling the sun in foul ground behind the coaching box. He'll make the catch, and the inning ends on the pop out to the third baseman. Pretty quiet inning for the Angels. We get ready to go to the bottom of the first, no score. Start for the Angels. The Angels won every game that he has been on the mound. Let's take a look at the Mariners lineup he'll face. And again, a few changes when they took out Gutierrez because of the back issues. So Cano moved up to the 2-hole, Cruz hitting third, Seager hitting fourth, and Trumbo fifth. They were all a spot lower originally. And Heaney on the mound, Mark.
He's throwing the ball exceptionally well. His fastball has been great both at the arm side, glove side. If we look at percentages, been very good for him so far.
First pitch on Austin Jackson, and that one misses for a ball.
Yeah, take a look at my go-tos. His fastball percentage 69%, slider 17, changeup 14, but they've been around the strike zone consistently.
Pitch fouled back on the right side, just below us out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, Heaney, he had good control this year in AAA, and he's brought that up to the majors as well.
You think about it, 20 to 30 innings pitched, 14 hits, 3 walks. That's it.
Next delivery, that's in there for strike 1 and 2. This is Andrews' first career appearance against Seattle. We last saw him on Tuesday at Colorado and did a great job at Coors Field. Worked into the 8th inning. Angels won that game 10-2. Heaney got the win. Here's one inside. 2-2 on Austin Jackson.
I really like his balance over the pitching rubber now. Standing tall over the pitching rubber and working downhill very effectively.
2-2 pitch. hit on a couple of hops right to Ibar. Should be an easy play. His throw on the money, and that's the first out. Let's take a look at the Angels defensively today. And we see that Albert Pujols is back there at first base for the Angels. Chris Iannetta in the lineup. He's behind the plate for the Halos today. Outfield, pretty much the regular look. Joyce in left, Trout in center, Cole Calhoun in right.
And Freese has been solid, just 1 error in his last 37 games. And when Andrew Heaney is on the mound, there's a lot of ground ball action. We saw it right away with a ground ball to Ibar. Freese should be very active at third.
Here's the first one on Cano, lefty-lefty matchup. That's right in there for a called strike. First pitch fastball at 93 miles per hour. Cano got hit on the helmet by C.J. Wilson in last night's ball game, but appears to be fine. There's when he chops foul over by Cruz waiting on deck.
And notice that slider is more effective. Remember in spring training we saw it a lot. He bounced a lot of sliders. Just that little adjustment in his mechanics that him and pitching coach Mike Butcher have worked out looking at video. Much more consistent with that arm slide.
Heaney's way in front. Here comes the 0-2 delivery. Fouled off left side, out of play. Mentioned that the Astros were beaten at Tampa Bay and they were swept in that series. Houston goes into the All-Star break with a 6-game losing streak and 7 runs in those 6 games that they've lost. When the break is over, they will play Texas, Boston, and Kansas City. Here's the pitch. Little pop on one hop, fielded there by Freese. Should be an easy play. Cano is retired.
My Hyundai key for this game for the Angels to be successful. Mia going to do it again, and that's Andrew Heaney getting that good arm slot and dominating once again this season. He's thrown 3 fantastic games so far. 1-0 on the road with a 2.45. I really like that balance, and when you look at his eyes, he is very competitive.
So here is Cruz set to bat. And the first pitch. That one is right in there for a called strike. He was originally slated to be their DH today, but he's playing right field after Gutierrez was scratched. Here's the pitch. That's high and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dimensions here in Seattle. 331 down the left field side. 401 to dead center. 326 down in that right field corner. Low 1-1. Cut and a miss.
That late movement on a 93-mile-an-hour fastball from Heaney. That pitch before his first changeup of the game. Always difficult to get that first changeup in the strike zone because that's a field pitch, but it's an important pitch for him to be successful here today.
2-strike delivery. That's fouled back behind the plate. They'll do it again. Seager waiting on deck. He's had a good series, and so has Cruz, who's batting right now. He's had 7 hits in the first 3 games. He's hitting .311 for the season. That's 6th best in the American League. And he breaks his bat, bounces this one right to short. Ibar has it. His throw is in time, and it is a 1-2-3 inning, a clean inning for Heaney. 3 ground ball outs. We're headed to the 2nd inning. No score in Seattle. As we go to the second inning here in Seattle. Angels will be in the All-Star break right after this ball game. How were they a year ago at the break? Well, the Angels were in second place last season at the All-Star break, 20 games over 500, but a game and a half out of first place. Angels have a shot to go into the break in first place, or a loss today, the Angels would be only a half game out. First pitch on Ibar, that's ball one. Ibar, Freese, and Crone against Taijuan Walker. Next pitch. This is lined into right center field. That's going to drop in for a hit. Eric is aboard. 5-game hitting streak he'll take into the break, and here's David Freese.
It's when you get ahead of the count, much better a chance to attack a pitch against Walker, and a good swing for Ibar. I go a little two-seam fastball, stayed back on that well, did not jump forward, kept his hands back, and line drive in the right center field. Hitters hit 367 on that 1-0 count against Walker. When you're behind in the count, he is devastating. Ahead of the count, you have a shot.
Toss over to first. Ibar has to scamper back. David Freese fairly quiet here in this series. 1 for 10. Driven in a run. .242 batting average. Infield at double play depth. Here's the pitch on Freese. He lines one down the left field side. That one is out by the wall. It's going to take a bounce, and that one's going to bounce over the wall. So that is a ground rule double right there, and the Angels are in business with runners at second and third, nobody out.
I like that aggressive swing too from Freese. Mentioned that 1-0 count, but first pitch of the at bat, hitters hitting .429 with a home run and 5 RBI against Walker. Always a good idea, whether it's against Walker or against Felix Hernandez, to be aggressive on that first pitch. It's a fastball on the inner half of the plate, even off the plate. Little two-seam fastball at 93, turns on it for David Freese. 16th double this season.
So a hot hitter stepping up to the plate now, and C.J. Crone. 5 hits for him in the series, a couple of them home runs. He bats with 2 in scoring position, nobody out. Here's the pitch. First one taken a little bit outside. Crone has gotten his batting average up to .257. Walker set, next pitch. And that's on the outside corner. The Angels today have on the red tops and the gray pants, and the Mariners have on the cream colored uniforms. They wear the throwback uniforms here for their Sunday home games. Next pitch, and that is a cut and a miss.
The back-to-back changeups, runs a fastball upstairs.
One and two is the count. Matt Joyce waiting on deck. Here's the next pitch on Crone, and he cuts it that one and misses it. Struck him out. Boy, that was a situation there where you need to make contact. Runners at second and third, nobody out. Now one away.
We saw that last night in the first inning. When you have chances, especially against good pitchers, and Walker's been throwing the ball exceptionally well. We showed that graphic earlier, what he's done in his last 6 starts. You got to take advantage of an opportunity when you can before he settles in.
So here is Joyce, who's looking to drive in his first run in the series. Matt Joyce hitting just .192. Here's the pitch, and he chops this one. It skips under the glove of Cano. That ball will roll into right field. The Angels get a run. Joyce is on, and boy, Cano having some trouble with that one off the bat of Matt Joyce.
Didn't look like he looked up to see, because the contact play is always going to be on, and he kind of looked up quickly at the infield end, and he missed that baseball.
Yeah. So that's an error all the way on Robinson Cano.
You see it right there. He looked to see where Eric Ibar, if he was going on contact, and you know that with the Angels, especially with 1 out, you're going on contact. That cost them a run. Remember that first game where they didn't go on contact, Seattle, but the Angels always do, and they read it well. As soon as that ball is hit on the ground, they're going. And because of that aggressive nature, play not made by Cano.
So runners at the corners, a run in. Here's the pitch. That one is in there. Joyce will get an RBI on that one. You can't assume a double play. So even though he reaches on an error, a run batted in. Iannetta has gone hitless so far in the series, 0 for 4. He has a chance to do some damage, and the pitch. That's a called strike, and he's quickly in the hole, 0-2.
And that pitch got a lot of the plate in 95. He's looking for a deep enough fly ball.
So 2 strikes on Iannetta with 1 out, runners at first and third. Here's the next delivery, and he takes that one. It misses high. Iannetta's had a couple of sac flies this season. And that's all you need right here. Get a ball deep enough to the outfield. That means a run. One-two pitch, and he checks on that one, and it's tipped foul over on the first base side.
And when you look at the arm strengths of the outfield for Seattle, certainly Nelson Cruz has a strong throwing arm. Mark Trumbo, solid arm out and left, but they will challenge Austin Jackson, a very good outfielder. They will challenge his arm unless he's coming in on the baseball. If he's coming in, he's got a very accurate, strong throwing arm. Going back, different story.
Here's the 1-2 on Iannetta, and he lifts this one foul right side. That's going to push back to the seats. Nice crowd here on this Sunday afternoon. Not as many as last night. We had over 40,000 last night.
Pretty good crowds in this entire series. You had King Felix going one game with big crowd.
Yep. So Iannetta battling with 2 strikes, 1-2 delivery. That's low. It gets by the catcher, and this is going to mean a run. Easily scoring will be Freeze, and the Angels have a 2-0 lead.
They said a couple gift runs. Wild pitch. Third wild pitch of the season for Walker. Slider in the dirt, breaking ball.
So the Angels getting their first run on an error, bringing that runner in from third, and now a wild pitch brings in the second run.
Take it.
Yeah.
Against this good staff that Seattle has.
Here's the pitch, and that one is cut on and missed, and Iannetta is a strikeout victim. So that's the third strikeout for Walker. 2 outs in the inning, and now Giovitello will bat.
And going upstairs, up and away, it's 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Good life on that fastball. Also free and easy. You mentioned that earlier. Free and easy in his delivery. Strong pitcher.
Walker, big guy, goes about 6'4", 235-pounder. Here's the next delivery. It's chopped on an easy hop to Cano. His throw to first is in time. Giovitello and the Angels are retired. Not before the Angels get a pair of runs. 2 runs on a couple of hits. Costly error and a wild pitch. 2-0 Angels. Bottom of the second we go. Petco. Andrew Heaney has a 2-run cushion to work with. He will be facing Seager, Trumbo, and Montero. Well, when Andrew was on the mound in his last start on this road trip at Colorado, Angels scored 10 runs in that ball game. And good to see the Angels get some early inning runs here today. Seager leads it off. Left-handed batter, lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch. A little bit low and misses.
That was a pretty good pitch.
Seager's had a very good series. He's raised his batting average now to 263. 1-0 pitch. And he cuts it that one and pops it foul down the left side. That's going to get back and out of play. 1-1.
Boy, Heaney, a lot like Hector Santiago, sneaky fast with the fastball. It's on you quickly with it. 90 to 94 range for Heaney. Same thing for Hector Santiago, the all-star Hector Santiago.
Yeah. First time all-star and very deserving this year. 1-1 pitch. That's drilled into right field. Cole Calhoun is going back. That's out by the wall. It's off the wall right at the 380 sign. And going into second and sliding in there with a leadoff double. First Seattle hit of the day is Kyle Seager.
It's a very similar spot to the hits he had against C.J. Wilson last night. That one at 93, middle part of the plate. Let's get his arms extended. He's got that good swing working right now. Drives that one off the 380 sign for his 19th double of the season.
So they have a runner in scoring position, and stepping up to the plate now is Trumbo. He's had a good series. Heaney working from the stretch. And the first one to Trumbo. He takes it for a called strike. First pitch fastball. See Trumbo's numbers with Seattle. 228 batting average. A little bit higher overall. Began the year with Arizona. He's hitting 247 overall this season with the 11 home runs. 0-1 pitch, and he chops this one foul on the left side.
Good all-speed pitch. Kind of mix and match.
Trumbo is red hot. 11 hits in his last 19 at bats. 7-game hitting streak. So he might be feeling more comfortable with his new club. This is his 30th game since coming over from the D-backs. 0-2, and that one is inside. Been a lot of talk about the Mariners the last few weeks, maybe showing more signs of life offensively. They're still last in the American League in batting, hitting only .235, but Edgar Martinez, people are praising the job that he's done in a short amount of time since taking over as their hitting coach. 1-2, and that's low.
We've certainly seen his work already in this series. The approach the hitters have had using the entire field. There wasn't anybody any better than him as far as using the whole field. Batting titles in 92 and 95. I'm guessing I helped him out on both those times. Being a good guy that I am.
What were his numbers against you, Goop?
I don't remember.
Here's the 2-2. Trumbo waves at that one, and he got him, struck him out, and he took something off the fastball there.
Yeah, nice little changeup again. It's off the plate, expanded the zone. Turned over that changeup. See what Trumbo was trying to do. He was trying to punch that ball to the right side of the field. That's what Edgar Martinez has been preaching. Away, just punch the ball that way. Couldn't make contact because of the change of speeds. Now, if that's a fastball, that may be different.
So here's Montero. He was a late addition to their lineup today. Joined the Mariners over the weekend here for this series, and the pitch. That one is low. 1 ball, no strikes. Montero had some good numbers in AAA this season. 15 home runs and batting average in the 330s. Here's the pitch. Fouls that one off on the right side, backing out of play. 1-1 is the count. The Angels can win this ball game. The Angels will go into the All-Star break in first place in the AL West. In a steady climb last month or so for the Angels, gaining ground on the Astros, who lost again today in Tampa Bay. Here's the pitch, and that one misses high.
Andrew's a little frustrated with his changeup. He seems to be slowing down his arm just a little bit. That tips off that it's something off speed for a hitter. Your ideal goal as a pitcher when you're throwing your changeup, same arm slot, same arm speed as your fastball. Trust the grip of the baseball to take the velocity off.
Here's the pitch, and that's inside. Snap throw to second. Diving back to the bag goes Seager. Edgar Martinez, Goob against you. .333 lifetime batting average with a home run.
Thanks
Just
for
one.
Thanks for finding that out for me.
That's right.
I knew he hit well against me.
Had 11 hits against you. That's it.
So he made 22 outs then.
There you go.
That's why I think of it.
That's right. Here's the pitch. That's fouled back behind the plate. Very impressed with your math skills today as well, Goob.
I was happy a lot of those line drives up the middle that he hit didn't hit me because they were close. Especially I throw a slider away thinking I had him exactly where I wanted him. Rocket right back up the middle. Did have a couple punch outs against him. That's all that matters. I'll give up the hits. That's all right.
So we'll see what gives here on Montero. One out, runner at second. Heaney's 3-2. And boy, that one didn't miss by much. Mentioned at the top, Andy Fletcher, small strike zone, hitter's umpire. That pitch there goes to Montero against the walk.
Yeah, just a little bit off the inside corner, about a baseball off the inside corner. But what we saw from Doug Eddings and Bill Miller in this series, man, they've caught a lot of strikes. Hitters had to be up there hacking.
So the batter now is Morrison. Lefty-lefty matchup. Morrison has had a home run in this series. He's hitting .232. And Heaney wheels around, bluffs a toss to second base. Infield, the double play depth. Outfielders are kind of bunched a little bit, trying to cut off the gaps. Heaney's pitch. That one is low and inside.
Morrison has rolled into 6 double plays. This is an important shutdown inning for Heaney and the Angels, especially when you get 2 gift runs like they got in the top of the second.
They have their catcher Zunino waiting on deck. Heaney taking a little bit more time with people on base. He's set. And the 1-0. That one is tipped foul back behind home plate.
Quick conversation with Iannetta and Heaney.
Angels wrapping up this series here in Seattle. The only other time the Angels will be back here in Seattle, right around the midway point of September. A series here Monday through Wednesday, 14th, 15th, and 16th of September. Counts even, and here's the next one. He checks. Did he go around on that one? Yes, he did. So it's now 1-2.
Good breaking ball from Andrew Heaney. Doug Eddings rings him up.
One ball, 2 strikes. Inning started off with the Seager double out in right center, then a strikeout. and a walk. 2 on, 1 away. Angels up 2-0 here in the second. The next pitch, that's low. It skips away from Iannetta, and the runners will advance. So they scored a wild pitch to move runners to second and third.
See this breaking ball right here. And because of the spin of a breaking ball, hits off Iannetta's chest protector and spins the other way. But the anticipation as a catcher, you got to assume that's going to be in the dirt. Almost square your round your shoulders a little bit more so to keep that baseball from rolling away from you.
Yeah, keep it in front of you. So 2-2 the count now, and a couple in scoring position. Here's the pitch, and that one is waved at and missed. Picking the ball up to fire to first to complete the strikeout is Iannetta. Big out right there. Second strikeout in the inning. That's a huge out.
You know, Terry, I really like the fact that Iannetta went right back to that pitch. And Heaney delivered the perfect pitch because he's still a part of the count where you can go with the breaking ball 2-2, and he ended up going a nice breaking ball down and away. That slider was solid. And that time blocked very well by Iannetta. Kept it in front. You see how he kind of rounded his shoulders up to keep that ball from getting away from him. Nice job by Iannetta.
So Zunino stepping up. Right-handed batter. Heaney trying to get out of second inning trouble. Delivers, and a swing and a miss. Good off-speed pitch there. Strike one.
Much better feel for that changeup. Zunino's a first ball hitter, especially first ball fastball hitter, through a good changeup.
Heaney's next delivery, that's fouled back behind the plate, so he jumps on Zunino. No balls and 2 strikes. Zunino is not a good 2-strike hitter, so we'll see if Heaney can polish him off. Zunino with 98 strikeouts, 4th highest total in the American League.
Now Heaney has trust in Iannetta to keep his pitch in front ahead of the count, expand the strike zone, make him swing at something out of the zone if he can.
0-2 delivery, got him. He chased a high fastball, struck him out, and that's how the inning ends. Heaney strikes out the side. Seattle leaves him at second and third. Third inning is next. 2-0 Angels. Strongest fan photo. Use hashtag WestDataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming Angels broadcast. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. So Cole Calhoun will lead it off.
Quite a few Angel fans here again today. Perfect day here for baseball in Seattle.
I know you've been tweeting photos today.
Oh, yeah. To hang out with Megan Rapinoe of our World Cup champion, Team USA soccer team. She threw out a great first pitch. We're going to take a look at that pitch later on in the game.
How about that?
Oh, yeah. It was strike. A perfect pitch.
Here's the 1-0 on Cole Calhoun, and he cuts it that one and misses it. 1 ball, 1 strike.
She was real happy that I was wearing my Angel polo shirt, too.
Oh.
Not really. She was, why? Why do you have that shirt on? I said, well, why do you have your Seattle Mariners shirt on?
Oh, good comeback, Goob.
She wins, though.
Next pitch, and there's a cut and a miss. Fastball 94. Cole Calhoun grounded out to Cano his first time up. Angels got a pair of runs last inning. 1 scored on a wild pitch. And the Angels also got 1 to score on an error. There's a swing and a miss, and Calhoun is down. And Walker changing speeds to get him on that strikeout.
And has an impressive 88-mile-an-hour changeup. A lot like Felix Hernandez's changeup. His changeup's 88 to 91 range, even 92 with his changeup. That'd be fun to have an 88 to 90-mile-an-hour changeup.
So here's Trout, and Mike takes that one for a called strike. Walker's already had 4 strikeouts, and he's had as many as 11 in a game. That was against the Astros back in late June. Next pitch on Trout. Takes that one for a ball.
He doesn't waste any time. He barely moves off the pitching rubber. He gets the baseball, gets his sign, and he's ready to attack.
Here's the next pitch. That's high and away. Infield is backed up. Trout got a base hit his first time up. 6 hits in this series. And he swings at this one and lifts it in the air down the right field side. That one is pushing foul and back to the seats, out of play.
Again, he likes to go upstairs with his fastball, but there's a fine line between being successful upstairs with a fastball and one that gets hit hard. If you go above, just above the strike zone, you can get some outs, but it's down a little bit further. That goes a long way.
Next delivery, and that fastball taken for ball 3. So a full count on the Angels all-star center fielder Mike Trout. Here's the next delivery. Bounces it on the left side. That ball's bobbled by Miller as Seager cut in front of him, and no throw to first base.
You're exactly right, Terry. If he doesn't cut in front of him, it didn't look like Miller really saw the baseball when he went in front. They're going to have a quick conversation, because if Seager fields that, he's not throwing him out anyhow with his momentum going towards the second base bag and that speed of Trout. Slow roller, but he kind of screened him. And Miller unable to come up. Even though he has a strong throwing arm, they're not going to throw out Trout. He ends up in another hit.
So Trout on at first with 1 away. Albert the next batter.
See Albert just be really aggressive on the first pitch right here.
Here it comes, and he ends up taking that one on the outside corner.
A little bit of a cut fastball from Walker.
Here's the next pitch, and that one is cut on and missed. So he stayed away from the fastball the first 2 pitches here, and Albert's in the hole.
And we've seen that pitch a lot from Seattle pitchers, that down and in pitch, whether it's a changeup from Felix Hernandez, a split finger from Iwakuma, or that changeup from Walker, down below the hands and in.
Pickoff toss. Trout dives back to the bag.
Walker with 2 pickoffs this year. Unusual pickoff move, though. He jumps in the air to throw over. Most guys pivot their back foot and fire to first.
0-2. That's low and outside. 1-2.
One thing I'm sure it's in that dugout, and you can see them saying right now, he's got to come to a stop, a discernible stop for Walker. He really was quick on that one. So you got to make sure there was not a stop there. You have to stop and redirect your hands.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Albert was reaching. He pops this one into shallow center. Jackson coming in. He'll make the catch, and Trout has to hustle back to first base. That's the second out. He had Pujols in front. He was reaching at that one. So Ibar, the batter, already a single. He scored one of the 2 Angel runs. Look at the Angels lineup today, and Eric Ibar has the second highest batting average of anyone in the lineup. He's really come on, and he takes that one low and in. Ibar now up to 283, and last season he hit 278, and he was struggling earlier this year at the plate. Next pitch fouled off on the left side. That's going to get back and out of play. They're club level.
That's right. The amazing thing for the Angels in the, have scored 34 runs in their last 9 games in its first 3 innings of the game. The previous 20 games, the first 3 innings is 10 runs scored. So they're giving those runs early for their pitching staff, and you can see the results as far as the starting staff overall.
Yeah,
much better, more aggressive.
1-1. Ibar with a bunt try, and he fouls that one off right near the plate. So it's 1-2.
It's not a bad idea. You bring Freese up, who's already 3 for 4 in his career, versus Walker in first and second. You give Freese a chance to drive in 1 or 2.
Eric awaits the 1-2 pitch from Taijuan Walker. And again, a toss over to first base. Mentioned how athletic Walker is. He was a very good prep basketball player. In fact, they used to call him Sky Walker because of his dunks in basketball. He was a guy who averaged over 20 points a game. There's a little flare down the left side, and that's a fair ball. It's going to kick around in foul territory now, going into third, and being held up there is the lead runner, Trout. Now the ball gets away. Trout's going to break for the plate. Throw there. Throw gets away. He scores. Now Ibar's going to break for the plate, and he is out. Well, the Angels get a gift run. Almost got 2 on that one. Mike Scioscia might challenge the call on the play with Ibar.
Yeah, see if Ibar was actually tagged. That's a pretty nifty slide for Eric.
So it's going to be a double.
See if the tag was applied. I don't know. Did it get him on the jersey in the back? From that angle, it's pretty close.
Well, the Angels.
It's a long look. There must be a couple different angles they're trying to make sure, and they are going to check.
Yeah. So this will be interesting, because if the Angels win the challenge, that's going to put a run on the board. The way it stands right now, it's 3-0 Angels with the inning coming to an end. But
see, if that angle, the tag looked like it was applied up in the jersey, or you wonder if Eric got his foot on the plate. That was a very good slide, though, by Eric. And a nice recovery by Zunino. It was kind of a low throw to him.
And now they're saying he was out at the plate. So the inning is over. Angels have a 3-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the third in Seattle.
1988. The last time the All-Star game was in Cincinnati. My teammate George Brett. Kurt Stillwell there, too. And
Look at that guy.
Look at those powder blue unis.
Goobs, that's you.
Oh, yeah, those unis. Fantastic. Got the chance to talk to Hector Santiago today. Congratulate him. He said, hey, I told him, hey, Cincinnati's just a great baseball town. Enjoy it. And he had the biggest smile on his face. He couldn't stop smiling.
Sure.
Which is understandable.
A reason to be proud, no doubt.
3 Angels going there now with Mike Trout, Albert Pujols, and now Hector Santiago.
Brad Miller's at the plate, and the first pitch, he takes that one for ball 1. Angels have scored 3 runs and have done it with some help from the Mariners here in the early going. The pitch. This one is chopped on the right side, out of the reach of Giavitelli. He was chasing near the second base bag, and that's going to roll through into right field. Fans, don't forget the Halos take on the Boston Red Sox on Saturday, 6:05 next Saturday. Fans in attendance will receive a Nitto Eco bag courtesy of Nitto Tire while supplies last. Purchase tickets today at the Angel Stadium ticket office or at angels.com. Upcoming homestand. Angels back in action on Friday, coming out of the break with the Red Sox in for a wraparound series.
Yes. It's always the favorite one, that Monday night game after a Sunday afternoon game.
Oh, yeah.
Red Sox playing better baseball, although losing today right now at this point to the Yankees, just 5.5 games out of first place. In last place in the AL East, though.
Yeah, Boston's picked it up a little bit. Here's the 1-0 pitch. This is hit high in the air into left center field. Routine play for Mike Trout. He was under. He'll put that one away. Right
away, that communication with Matt Joyce. Put the hand out, called it. Easy play for Trout.
So 1 out, 1 on. Here's Cano, who chopped out to David Freese his first time up. Andrew Heaney, look at the 3 starts he had coming into today, and he had not given up more than 2 runs in any of them. He's kept the Mariners off the board so far in the early going here today. And boy, he has really given the Angels a lift as far as the rotation came up when Jared Weaver went on the disabled list. Weaver threw a simulated game yesterday, only threw fastballs, and looks like he's going to throw another sim game on Thursday at the Big A, and in all likelihood probably won't go on any kind of rehab assignment.
That's what he's hoping for. Yeah. Asked him today on the bus how he felt yesterday. Again, he said the same thing. I woke up this morning and I said that is definitely a plus, and he laughed at me, so that tells me he's feeling good.
Weaver's been on the DL with the left hip irritation. Here's a shot hit over to Albert Pujols, and he is going to make the catch on that liner. He doubles up the runner Miller, and the inning ends on the unassisted double play. We have 3 in the books in Seattle, headed to the 4th, 3-0 Angels. And the Angels have a 3-0 lead. David Freese will step up to the plate. Boy, that Angels third inning, interesting. The Angels got a run, sent 4 batters to the plate. 2 of them had hits.
But some help again.
Got some help. There's a pitch that's on the outside corner. And the Angels almost got a second run in that inning, but lost the challenge on the play with Ibar getting called out at the plate.
Might have to change my song today to Waiting on a Friend from the Rolling Stones. Some help today from Seattle's defense. All 3 runs, really.
Here's the pitch. Cut and a miss. 1-2.
You all right over there, Smitty?
I love when you start talking music with me, Goo.
Oh, there you go. I know you're a big fan of Pink, though. I have to bring some Pink up for you at some point.
Yep.
Yes.
Got some Philly
yeah.
ties.
Yes, indeed.
There you go. 2-2 the count. Here's the next pitch, and a cut and a miss. Boy, that was some high heat right there. He throws it by Freese, and another strikeout for Walker. Fans, Tuesday, baseball's best players gather in Cincinnati for the Midsummer Classic. Home field advantage for the World Series on the line. Our coverage of the 2015 MLB All-Star Game begins Tuesday, 4 o'clock Pacific on Fox, and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. First one on Crone, a cut and a miss for strike 1.
They're 26. This is prior to some changes in that roster, but 26 original first-time All-Stars. But there's been some moves. Obviously, now you got Hector.
Here's a shot up the middle. It's stopped by Cano from the outfield grass behind second. He will throw out Crone. That's a nice play by Cano for the second out.
He does have outstanding range and a very accurate, strong throwing arm. But that play he didn't make, surprising, in the second inning, because he looked up to see if Eric Ibar was going on contact, which you should always know that's the case with the Angels.
Mentioned Hector. He will replace Sonny Gray on the AL All-Star squad. And boy, what a game Sonny Gray had today for Oakland. They shut out Cleveland 2-0. A 2-hit shutout for Sonny Gray, who wins his 10th of the year. Here's the pitch, and that one is in there. Sonny Gray, had he not pitched today, he would have been a guy certainly deserving to be the AL All-Star starting pitcher.
No doubt. And Sonny Gray and Walker, very similar as far as the way they approach the full windup. You know, they're almost in that modified stretch position from the full windup.
Of course, Walker a little bigger guy than Sonny Gray.
Just a little bit.
But they both throw hard.
And both waste no time to throw the baseball.
Yep. 2 outs here in the 4th. Angels up 3-0 in Seattle as Joyce takes that one for a ball. 1-2. Matt Joyce driving in a run for the Angels, the first run today, and the pitch, and that one is high. He drove it in, reaching on an error, and that was by Cano. Two-two pitch, and he taps that one in front of the plate. Fair ball. Zunino, the catcher, will throw him out, and that's how the inning will end. So not much happening for the Angels here in the 4th. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. 3-0 Angels. This is Angels baseball on Fox Sports West. Back at Safeco Field here in Seattle, Angels have a 3-0 lead as we get set for the bottom of the 4th inning.
The All-Stars,
Yeah.
I feel electric. That's some swings they had. 26 home runs apiece for the All-Star Mike Trout and the All-Star Albert Pujols. Both starters in the lineup for the American League.
There you go. Nelson Cruz, he'll be representing Seattle in the game on Tuesday. And the pitch, that one is inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Cruz grounded out to Ibar his first time up. They'll have Seager and Trumbo to follow against Heaney. And Andrews' pitch. This one is hit well into left field. Joyce is going back. He's at the wall and has a play. That one just gave out on Nelson Cruz. A long out, and there's 1 gone. Fans, the Angels will host the Minnesota Twins on July the 21st, 7:05 first pitch at the Big A. Fans in attendance receive a Hawaiian Angels hat courtesy of Chevron Extra Mile while supplies last. Purchase tickets at the Angels Stadium ticket office or at angels.com.
Oh, there's no doubt, Smitty, you'll be walking around the stadium with that on. There's no doubt.
No question about it. Here's Seager at the plate. And the pitch. And that one is a little bit inside. Maybe I could even give the hats out at the stadium that night.
You really should.
That might be even, that is better.
Yes, there's no doubt. I think we can work that.
I'm sure we can. 1-0 the count. And the next delivery, that one is in there for a called strike. And I know all the Angels Booster Club members usually give out the giveaway items at the home plate gate. I might just join them.
You should.
1-1 delivery. And that's a pitch in there.
Talk about drawing a big crowd. That'd be humongous.
There you go. Maybe I could autograph 1 hat while I'm there.
Oh, there's no doubt. Oh, that it'd be bedlam then if that was the case.
Heaney is ready. And here comes the 1-2. That's a shot that's going to drop into right center field for a base hit. So Seager continues to hit the baseball. He's had 8 hits in this series.
Again, another fastball out over the plate, even though it's firm at 94, but it's elevated. He's able to get his arms extended, both at bats. 2 hits against Heaney. Did the same thing against C.J. Wilson yesterday. Fastballs away, but they were elevated enough. He was able to get the barrel of the bat on it. You would think, get ahead, have a try to see if he can hit a slider.
So Trumbo stepping up during his 7-game hitting streak, hitting over 500 so far today. A strikeout is only time up, and there's one blowing away. 1 ball, no strikes. That's going to get the catcher Chris Iannetta out to the mound and have a word with Andrew Heaney. Heaney, before he got called up to the Angels this season, he was 6-2 at AAA Salt Lake. 14 starts there. Former first-round pick of the Marlins, 9th overall in the 2012 June draft. Andrew is ready. 1-0 pitch. Trumbo lifts this one in the air towards right center. Trout has a beat. He'll make the grab on it. And that will be the 2nd out.
Hit well by Trumbo, but Trout, his former teammate, able to track it down. Quick smile in at him.
So Montero, the batter, he walked his first time up. That's been the only walk issued by Andrew Heaney. Heaney is from Oklahoma. He grew up in Oklahoma City. And he was a Cleveland Indians fan.
Yeah, can you believe that?
Yeah.
Favorite athlete, Kevin Durant. And why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Like him.
Here's the pitch. This one is popped foul. Back behind the plate. It's going to land back to the seats a few rows back.
Keep wanting to ask him why he likes the Cleveland Indians. Love the movie Major League or something?
Yeah, maybe that. Maybe he liked them when the Indians had their good run.
Yeah, that's when you had Sandy Alomar Jr. hitting number 9 with about 25 home runs. That was like a football team
crazy.
playing.
Yep. 0-1 to count on Montero. The next pitch, there's a one-hopper. It almost knocks Ibar off his feet, and he stays with it, fires to second. They get the force out on Seager. The inning ends on the 6-4 fielder's choice. We're headed to the fifth. Angels up 3-0 in Seattle.
EPA estimated 31 highway miles per gallon. This car was made for driving in California. Visit Dodge.com. By AT&T Uverse, more live channels on the go than cable. And by Heffernan Insurance Brokers, insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit HEFINS.com.
And there you see a beautiful shot of Mount Rainier.
This is beautiful up here. That's a great shot.
Yeah. Chris Iannetta at the plate, and the first pitch he cuts at it and misses it for strike one. He was a strikeout victim back in the second. Angels batting in the fifth, up 3-0 here in Seattle. Next delivery, that's fouled off on the right side, backing out of play.
Boy, Heaney threw 7 pitches to get through to third. There's 10 pitches to get through the fourth. He had that line drive ball working at a defender that inning.
0-2 on Chris Iannetta, and he cuts at that one and misses that fastball. Struck him out. So Walker's racking up some strikeouts here.
And 6 already.
Yep. And he's had at least one in every inning. And top of the batting order, Giavotella 0-for-2 day, stepping up.
Remember, 0-0 counts against Walker. 429 batting average. Johnny Giavotella may have to jump on a fastball.
And he cuts at that one. That was a fastball, and he fouls it off on the right side, out of play. Walker has the new baseball, delivers a liner right at the shortstop. Miller holds his ground and makes the catch. That was headed right at face level there for the second out.
Some atom balls so far in this game, some well hit baseballs, but that's why you throw strikes and utilize your defense and work quickly.
So Walker's retired the last 5 in a row. That's his longest streak so far in this game. Here's Cole Calhoun. He's going to take a little extra time before he gets set in the box to give Heaney a little breather. Calhoun's had an 0-for-2 day. Good series, though. 5 hits, including a homer. First pitch takes it, ball 1. Angels got 2 in the second and 1 in the third, and that's been it as far as the scoring. Next pitch, cut and a miss. 1-1 the count. Mike Trout waiting on deck with 2 outs. He's already had 2 hits, 7 in the series. Trout's really heating up here as we get ready for the All-Star break. 1-1. That one is hit on the right side, a foul ball.
By the way, just checking out Twitter real quick, Smitty. They're everyone's clamoring for you to get down there and sign some hats and give away those hats, those Hawaiian hats. You're a legend.
Yeah, they're already waiting in line at the Big A, even before the All-Star break starts. For
you blame them?
That event? No, not at all. Here's the 1-2, and that is a called third strike, and Cole Calhoun knew it. Took a little something off the fastball there. A strikeout victim for the second time today. Bottom of the fifth is next. 3-0 Angels in Seattle. Angels may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball LP. So we go to the bottom of the fifth. 3-0 Halos. Logan Morrison, Zunino, and Miller bottom third of the batting order of the first three for Seattle. And the first pitch, a cut and a miss.
Good breaking ball from Andrew. He's done that a number of times today. That first pitch breaking ball, first pitch changeup.
Morrison struck out his first time up, and the next pitch, and he waves at that one. Came right back at him.
I have no problem doing it again. Sometimes the pitcher, you go, let me try to sneak a fastball by him. Then he hits a little flare in the left field. I think you go right back to that exact pitch, force him to try to hack at that again. Looks like what Chris is going to do.
0-2 delivery, and sure enough they did, but he takes that one for a ball. Morrison hasn't hit much against lefties. 176 batting average, and this season he's hit 12 home runs, but not a single one against a left-hander. Here's the 1-2 pitch. This one is bounced by Heaney out near second, stopped by Giavotella. The throw is just in time.
That's a good throw from Giavotella on that one, on the backhand, strong throw across the diamond.
One away, Zunino the batter.
So on the backhand, you had Eric Ibar in the vicinity, but much more on that throw from Giavotella to get Morrison at first base. Well done by Johnny.
Zunino at the plate, right-handed batter. Takes that one for a strike. First pitch fastball. Heaney so far, and this is just his fourth start with the Angels, he has been remarkably consistent. There's one in there for a called strike.
Hyundai key for this game to be successful for the Angels. Do it again. Andrew Heaney, he's certainly been doing it again today. His fourth very, very good start so far.
Next pitch, and the 0-2 missed.
And I like what he did on this at bat against Zunino. Zunino remembers he threw something off speed first pitch against him last at bat. Fastball in, and then fastball up.
Here's the next one. That's fouled back behind the plate.
You see a frustration and that look and that head shake by Zunino because the next pitch, changeup. That's the art of pitching. Don't go into those same sequences where hitters can look for a pitch and drive it.
One-two delivery. Low. 2-2 the count. And here's the next pitch. He got him chasing, went after a high outside fastball, threw it by him, struck him out, and that's out number 2.
It's his 4th strikeout. Gets the fastballs in, change up and a breaking ball, then upstairs with a fastball. That one at 91, just above the strike zone. The hitter, those eyes get big, thinking he can get to it. Could not catch up to it. Zunino frustrated.
Brad Miller, the batter. Sounds like the 2:30 train is running a little bit early right now. Passing by the ballpark. Here's the pitch. That's chopped by the mound, and that's going to roll on out to Trout. That is a 2-out hit. It's only their 4th hit. Miller has half of them, and it'll bring up Austin Jackson.
All 4 hits. But left-handed batters, 2 by Miller, 2 by Seager.
So here's Jackson. He returned to their lineup last night, was 0 for 5 and hitless in a couple times up here in this one. Lob toss over to first base. Miller is back. The Angels bat in the 6th, leading 3-0. It'll be Trout followed by Pujols and Ibar against Taijuan Walker. Andrew delivers, and that's a little bit low and misses for a ball. Heaney right now 65 pitches. Look at his first 3 starts. He's thrown under 100 in all of them. The most pitches in a start, 95. Had 94 in the last start he had Tuesday at Colorado. 1-0, and that's a called strike on the outside corner.
So on back-to-back changeups.
Infield backed up with 2 outs. Here's the pitch, and that one is outside. Snap throw to first. Diving back to the bag goes Miller. Mark, I mentioned Heaney less than 100 pitches in his first 3 starts with the Angels. What was the most pitches you threw in a game, you know?
I think it was, believe it or not, I think it was around 163.
Wow.
There's a reason why my elbow's crooked right now, too.
You just don't see that anymore, that's for sure. There's a bouncer that's just out of the reach of Freeze, and that one's going to roll on out to Joyce. So another 2-out hit, another single, and they have them at first and second. And Cano will be the next batter.
And a quick conversation with Iannetta and Heaney.
I hope that start that you threw over 160 pitches, you completed that start.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. I did finish that one off.
All right.
And it was good because it was a Sunday afternoon game in August in Kansas City with the turf, too, so it was quite comfortable.
Wow. What was that, about 120 down on the field?
It's slightly higher.
Wow. Here's Cano at the plate. 0 for 2 day. Mariners have not had many threats here in this game. They have a little threat brewing here with 2 outs. Tough hitter at the plate. The pitch, Cano checks, and he went around. 0-1 on Robinson Cano.
His last at bat, he hit a rocket right at Albert Pujols. Ended up being a double play, unassisted double play.
Been a fairly tough year for Robinson Cano, although here in July he's hitting .320, so That's encouraging for him. His season average now at 250, and he's had some things he's been dealing with this season. A stomach ailment. Also, he was very close to his grandfather who passed away. He's had some trouble dealing with that.
It's a big part of the game right here now for Heaney. We always talk about a starting pitcher, no matter how well you're going, there's always one inning where you're going to have to make some quality pitches. Not only you have to get out a very tough hitter in Robinson Cano, if he gets on, you have to deal with Nelson Cruz. So a big at bat, big inning here for Andrew Heaney and the Angels.
He works with 2 outs, has a strike on Cano, and the pitch. He waves at that one and misses it. He fooled him right there off speed. Cano had backed out of the box. Now he's back in there. A hit likely means a run, and out. Heaney keeps him off the board. 0-2. Cano checks, and that time he was holding. 1-2. Heaney's going to take a little time rubbing the baseball.
He's also looking back to see if Eric Ibar may put on a pickoff play. It's a timing play for the shortstop and the pitcher.
Heaney is set. Well, look at second. Now the delivery, and that one misses. 2-2 the count.
Yeah, they missed by a lot, about a half a baseball off the outside corner.
Cano last season, 82 runs batted in. He's had 30 so far this year. Counts even. Next pitch. Lifted foul left side. That's going to get back to the upper deck.
Yeah, if you're Matt Joyce out in left field, you got to think in terms that baseball's got a chance to come in your way, whether it's going to be a breaking ball or fastball away against Cano.
Pretty good battle going on here. A couple strikes on Cano. Heaney is set. 2-2 pitch. Low. So it's a full count. Cruz waiting on deck. He's gone 0 for 2, but he's had a very good series. Fans coming to life here at Safeco Field. Haven't had much to cheer about so far in this ball game. A lot of noise now. Full count on Cano as Heaney is just about ready to deliver. Here's the pitch. He got him. Struck him out. Waved at that off-speed pitch. Way out of the strike zone. Pair of strikeouts in the inning. 5 in the game for Heaney. Angels still have a 3-0 lead.
Montgomery. Some help from the defense for Seattle. Robinson Cano unable to field that ground ball by Matt Joyce, scores a run, and then a wild pitch. Walker scores another run. Eric Ibar, a little flare double down the left field line. Eventually the throw in for Mark Trumbo resulted in the third run, and then Andrew Heaney with a tough at bat against Robinson Cano gets the punch out. You gotta love that enthusiasm coming off the mound for Andrew Heaney.
So Trout will lead it off as we go to the sixth. Angels up 3-0, and the first pitch in there for strike one. Pair of singles for Mike Trout so far against Taijuan Walker. And the next one, that's cut on and missed. 0-2 the count.
And one thing you notice from Walker, he does not shy away from pitching inside. That fastball running in off the plate against Trout at 94. He'll pitch inside against right-handed batters and left-handed batters.
There's a pitch that's inside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the next delivery. That's fouled back. You got Walker on the mound, 22 years old. Trout only 23. Here's the next pitch, and Trout is hit by that one. That is a fastball that came up and in and got him.
That's the 8th time Trout has been hit this year.
So Mike's okay as he trots to first base.
There's that protection. At least he was wearing that in Colorado. Looks like he still has that on now in that tricep area, but still, that's a firm fastball at 95, well off the plate.
So Trout on for the third time. And here's Albert at the plate, no outs. Takes that one high, fastball.
That's the 4th time he's been hitting on that arm in the last 8 games.
Teams are working Trout inside, and he's getting hit a lot. You're right. Here's the next pitch. That's a little shot in the center. That's going to fall in. Albert has a hit. Trout will stop at second. But the Angels have something brewing with a couple on, nobody out. Ibar, the batter, he's had a 2-hit ball game.
And the perfect guy to have up in this situation. It's going to force the corner infielders in for Seattle because he can bunt. Eric can do so many things with the bat. So already has 2 hits. You mentioned that, Terry, in this game. So Mike Scioscia has some options. Does he try to manufacture another run or 2?
So we'll see how the Angels play it. Will Ibar be bunting here, or will they let him swing the bat? He's around the bunt and drops one foul on the third base side.
Tell you what, the way Seager's playing towards the base and Miller's trying to hold Trout closer to second, that whole left side of the infield is wide open, and Eric can, square around the bunt and then slap that ball through that hole rather easily.
The ball's 1 strike to count.
See where Seager is. He's anticipating bunt, and he knows that Walker's very athletic, and he'll get off the mound quickly to that side of the infield in case Eric bunts it that way. But there's a lot of room in that left side of the infield.
Here's the next pitch, and he drops down a bunt on the third base side. The throw is a bad one by Walker. That ball goes into foul territory. A run will score. Runners at second and third. It's 4-0 Angels. Boy, the Angels have been getting gift runs all day long.
You can see how athletic Walker is, how quickly he got off the mound, but a low throw to third base. And that's why Seager was able to stay by the base. Look how quick he got off the mound, but then a low throw didn't get lower. When you feel the ball as a pitcher, you try to stay low, and at that point you're an infielder. Stay low to low throw. From that arm angle, much easier chance to get that ball to third base. But that's his 3rd error of the season for Walker. But plenty of time to make that play, even with Trout running. But a mistake again. You mentioned another gift run.
Yeah. There's action in the Seattle bullpen now as they come out and have a word with Taijuan Walker. Rick Waite's the pitching coach. David Rollins, the pitcher, warming up.
Walker did everything right on that play. Got over there quickly, but did not stay low enough. When you feel that ball, you have to almost pretend you're an infielder. Stay low and drop your elbow, and they'll elevate the throw to your third baseman to get that force out of third.
Here's the pitch. That is a liner just foul on the left side.
Second time we've seen Freese swing at that first pitch. His first at bat, he doubled down the left field line. That one almost got another double down the left field line, but just foul.
No balls, one strike to count. And the pitch, there's a cut and a miss. I don't know if they gave Ibar a sack on that one.
It should be a sack.
That's what I was thinking, but
can't assume the out at third.
Right, they put fielder's choice E1 on there. It was definitely an error on Walker. Here's the pitch. That's fouled back behind the plate. Ibar will get a sack bunt on it, and rightfully so. Eric Ibar, I was checking, Gooby, when the road trip began, and it seems like ages ago we were in Arlington, but Ibar was hitting 261. Now he's hitting 285.
It is amazing what he's done
on this trip. Yeah.
What do you have, like 6 or 7 hits in a row at one point in Texas, which seems to be about a month ago we were there.
Yeah, he's hitting over 450 on the road trip, 459 on the trip.
That's seeing the baseball pretty well, don't you think?
Yeah. Here's the next one on Freese. This is lifted in the air and hit pretty well into center field. That ball is going to be over the head of the center fielder Jackson. The ball smacks off the wall. Angels are going to get a couple on that double out there to center field off the bat of Freese, and the Angels are busting this ball game wide open right now.
Boy, that baseball put a serious dent in the wall. Jackson took one step and said he had no chance to get back there, and that baseball just screaming off the bat of David Freese, and see where this ball went to center field and off the wall. Second double of the game for Freese, giving him 39 now RBI.
And that will be a knockout blow as Walker will be lifted with the Angels up 6-0 here in Seattle. Still nobody out in the 6th inning. A pitching change coming up on Fox Sports West.
Went 5+ innings, 7 hits, 5 earned runs. At this point, 7 punch-outs. Had been pitching extremely well, but didn't get a whole lot of help on the defensive side today. But the Angels will take it. And who's in? David Rollins. He's pitched 4 innings so far. 4 earned runs in 3 career games. Fastball, 91-96. Slider, and a very good plus changeup. Those around 30% of his pitches are changeups that runs down and away against right-handed batters.
So Rollins, who made his debut with Seattle earlier this month, set the pitch. And Crone, the first batter to face him. Angels have had a 3-run inning, still nobody out here in the 6th. and a 6-0 lead. First pitch of ball. Count 1 ball, no strikes. Rollins was pitching at AAA Tacoma. Had 7 appearances there and did not allow an earned run. Here's the pitch. That one is inside. He was reinstated from the restricted list on the 4th of July following a suspension for violating the MLB Joint Drug Prevention and Treatment Program. Here's the pitch. That's a pitch on the outside corner called strike.
A couple of really good swings in this game from David Freese, though. Just going back to that swing he had to center field. Now 4 for 6 in his career versus Walker. He's got a big lead, good secondary lead at second.
Next delivery, and that one is cut on and missed, so it's even up. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It's that good changeup from Rollins.
Well, you got to like what's happening today for the Angels. A 6-0 lead in the 6th inning. If the Angels win this game, the Angels will go into the All-Star break in first place, sole possession of first in the AL West. And there's another hit, a liner into right field. Moving over to third will be Freese. Crone gets his first hit of the day, but he's had 6 hits in this series. And Matt Joyce will be the next batter.
Looks like we might have a pinch hitter for Matt Joyce, though, with Daniel Robertson coming up.
Yep.
But what we've seen from this entire road trip, Terry, even from Texas into Colorado, here, Seattle, using the entire field to hitters, just relaxed hands at the plate. Seen some home runs, but we've also seen a lot of hits going the other way, just like that from C.J. Crone. David Freese, the dead center field. Mike Trout early in the game, base hit in the right field. So when you see those type of swings, that means the offense has a chance of staying hot, for a long period of time, like we've seen on this road trip.
Angels coming into the ball game in the first 8 games of the trip, averaging almost 7 runs a game. Have 6 already on the board today. There's one that's low. 1 ball, no strikes. Robertson has done a nice job as a reserve outfielder, hitting .293. Covers some ground in the outfield. 1-0 pitch. He lifts this one out near second, and that one is going to be stopped on that hop by Cano. He'll flip to second, and that fielder's choice will produce another run. Freese comes in and scores on the ball hit off the plate.
Getting the job done, putting it in play.
7-0 Angels. The lead continues to grow.
Some mistakes made by the defense for Seattle, but the offense opportunistic, coming through with some big hits the right time. We saw that a lot last year on the way to a 98-win season.
Here's the pitch, and that one a little bit low on Iannetta. 1 ball, no strikes.
36,955. 36,955.
The attendance today here in Seattle, 36,955. 36,955.
It's impressive coming off a game where they had 40,000 last night.
Yeah. Two 2-0 now on Chris Iannetta. Here's the next pitch. This is lifted high, and it's hit well into left field. Out on the warning track is Trumbo. It's out of here into the Angels bullpen. Iannetta hits his 5th home run of the season. That's a 2-run shot, and now it's 9-0 Angels.
Majestic high home run for Chris Iannetta, his 5th. Now 19 RBI on the season. A 9-0 lead here for the Halos. And I got to hear it's out of here from you, Terry.
So the Angels with a big inning, a 6-run inning. And this one is getting out of control.
93-mile-an-hour fastball inside, turned on by Iannetta.
Here's Giovitello with a ball that he pops into shallow left center. That's going to fall in. So Rollins is having all sorts of trouble. And you're starting to hear the boo birds as well. Cole Calhoun will be the next batter.
A little flare out to left center field. The nature boy.
I knew you'd work in a wrestling term there, Gooby. DC, my radio producer engineer, would be proud of you right now. Have to tell him after the game.
Oh, no doubt.
Cole Calhoun at the plate. Giovitello just got that hit, his first hit of the day. Calhoun is looking for his first hit. Angels have had 10. And there's a pitch taken for ball one. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
Angels with 21 home runs down in the last 12 games. Crushing the baseball. And you mentioned 10 hits. A lot of games with double figures in hits, too, for the Halos, especially on this road trip.
Here's the pitch. And a cut and a miss.
Remember that last homestand with, let's go, what, 6-3? We're actually outscored by the opponents. That's not the case here on this road trip.
Yep.
The offense has been outstanding. Pitching was great. Defense was unbelievable at home with the Big A to win 3 straight series.
Here's the next delivery on Cole Calhoun. That one's low. Well, it started off this road trip in Texas where the Angels outscored the Rangers 33-8. And then the little 2-gamer in Denver against the Rockies. Angels outscored them in the little 2-game sweep 13-4. The Angels with 9 on the board already in this one as that one is fouled back. 2-2 the count. We have seen the Angels have some big innings on this road trip, and another 6-run inning today here in Seattle.
Dino with the baseball in his hand, he'll be throwing home run derby to Albert Pujols in Cincinnati.
Absolutely.
Bringing his whole family. This will be a thrill for him and his kids, his wife.
Here's the pitch on its way. That one misses high. Not only that, but Albert Pujols is footing the bill.
Going to have his name, the jerseys, his kids on the field.
Yeah.
Albert's a great guy.
Yeah. He is rolling out the carpet to the Eagles, and we'll have a chance to take it all in Cincinnati. There's a pitch that misses inside, and that's ball 4. So Cole Calhoun has a walk, and that would appear to be it for Rollins. He really struggled coming in here in relief of Taijuan Walker. We see Lloyd McClendon heading out to the mound. We're going to have another pitching change here in Seattle. So the Angels with a 6th spot on the board, and maybe some more when we get back. It's 9-0 Angels. Pitching change coming up here in Seattle.
Andrew Heaney dealing again. 7 innings, just 5 hits, no runs, 5 punch-outs. One Walker was 5+ innings, gives up 6 earned runs, no walks, but 7 punch-outs. He didn't really get a whole lot of help from his defense behind him, but when he made a mistake out over the plate, especially with David Freese's swing, a couple doubles by Freese against Walker.
So Danny Farquhar is the new pitcher. Rollins, he only retired 1 batter that he faced. And he faced 5, and now Trout gets ready to dig in against Farquhar. Here's the pitch. That's high. 1 ball, no strikes. Trout is batting for the 2nd time in the inning. He led the inning off, getting hit by a fastball from Taijuan Walker. 3rd pitcher in the inning now for Seattle, and Trout skies one in the air into shallow left center field. Waiting and making the grab is Jackson, and the runners at 1st and 2nd have to hold.
First time Trout has been retired today.
Albert Pujols, the next batter. Albert in today's ball game 1 for 3. So the Angels in great shape here and figure to be in first place going into the All-Star break. Here's the pitch. That one a breaking ball that misses ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes. The last time the Angels were in first place on the 17th of April. And the Angels were only in first place for a day. And the only other time the Angels were in first place before that was back on the 8th of April, and that was after the final game here in Seattle to open up the season. And the next day the Angels were out of first place. So here's the next one. That's headed right upstairs here, not far away from us, Scooby.
That was up here quickly.
Was coming in hot.
Oh, no doubt. Oh, that's the first time I've seen a baseball come up this way.
Here's the next one, and that one is tipped foul right by the plate. Coming in hot.
Oh, no doubt. Anyway, it's the 4th time that the Angels have batted around on this road trip.
Wow. Here's the next pitch.
Albert nearly batted us around with that line drive up here in the booth.
I don't think we have any issues with him, do we?
No. We just were saying how nice of a guy he is, taking Dino Ebel and his family to Cincinnati. Maybe he's just trying to give us a souvenir baseball up here.
This is also the 3rd time on the trip the Angels have had a 6-run inning. Angels did that in the opener against Texas, and did it in game 2 of that series against the Rangers as well. Here's the next pitch. This is popped up foul over near the Angels on deck circle. It's going to get back to the seats.
Nice play. Man brought his glove. Now that's the kind of baseball we want to have hit up here. A nice little one like that. That last one that Albert hit up here, not so much. But I knew you had that, Terry. I saw you at the filter beds back in Philadelphia all those years wearing that Giants uniform in Little League.
You made no effort whatsoever to try and help me out on that one. You stood your ground. You were just watching to see what the end result was going to be.
True Philadelphia. Just stay out of the way.
Here's one that's popped up to the left of the mound, and making the grab on it is the shortstop Miller, and that's how the inning will end.
What a big 6th inning. What a great swings throughout this game. Good swings the other way. Some power ball by Chris Iannetta, 2-run home run. Angels lead 9-0. Megan Rapinoe, Team USA World Cup champion. Kyle Seager catching that, framing it, bringing it back in, and I'm calling that a strike. Outside corner, she's excited. It's fun to get an opportunity to meet her before the game. It's a lot of fun. Boy, I'll tell you what, they've been everywhere. Team USA, they had a big thing at Nokia Center down in downtown LA, and then of course the big parade in New York.
Right.
Whirlwind.
Yeah.
Still had a smile going and still extremely happy and proud of her teammates and what they were able to accomplish by winning the World Cup against Japan.
Yeah, how about the final against Japan?
Oh, incredible. How many goals?
Jumped on them right away, early. So here's Nelson Cruz starting off the Seattle 6th inning. It's a 9-0 Angels lead. Here's the pitch. And that one is right in there for a called strike. Here's the next one. It's fouled off on the right side.
7 runs, 6 earned runs, 7 strikeouts.
Cruz in today's game. He's been up a couple of times hitless, a ground out and a fly out. Heaney's next pitch. And that is in there for a called third strike. Cruz can't believe the call by Andy Fletcher, but he is a strikeout victim, one away.
That got the top of the strike zone at 91. According to our Fox tracks, you take a look here to high target set and a high target hit by Andrew Heaney. Good target set by Chris Iannetta. Didn't even have to move his glove. 6 punch out for Heaney.
And he has only walked one batter today. Good control again for Heaney in his 4th start with the Angels. Seager the batter. And he takes the first one, breaking ball, misses for ball 1. 1-0.
1/3 inning pitched, 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs.
Here's the next delivery. That's low and outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Fans have gotten quiet here today, and it's understandable. The Angels have a huge lead, 9-0, bottom of the 6th. Here's the next pitch, lifted in the air to center field. Easy play for Mike Trout. He will one-hand it. That is the second out. Trumbo will be the next batter. Fans, the Angels host the Minnesota Twins on July the 22nd. 7:05 first pitch at the Big A. Fans in attendance will receive a Hawaiian Rally Monkey courtesy of Sungevity while supplies last. You can purchase your tickets at the Angels Stadium ticket office or at angels.com.
I could see that excitement on your face for that one, Terry.
I like those Rally Monkey giveaways. Here's one lined into left field. Going back is Robertson, and he will make the catch. Momentum takes him out on the track. The inning is over. Heaney sets him down cleanly and quietly. We're headed to the 7th. 9-0 Angels.
by Arco. Robinson Cano had a pretty tough at bat working against Andrew Heaney, but gets him to swing and miss on that big breaking ball to finish off that inning. Would have been bases loaded potentially with Nelson Cruz coming up. Instead, it was a swing and miss for Andrew Heaney, who's been dominant. Once again, that's a 7-pitch inning to get through the 6th inning. That's twice now in this game. He's had a 7-pitch inning.
And with all the offense today, his outing gets a little overshadowed, but he has been terrific again today for the Angels. He's had 4 really good starts. So leading it off is Ibar as we start the 7th. And here's the pitch. That one is low. Looks like we have some changes now for Seattle defensively. See, Mark Trumbo is now in right. There's a ball bounced out near second. Bobbled there by Miller, the shortstop, who tried to stop it behind the bag. And no throw to first base. Ibar is on. They're going to give him a hit, and that's his 3rd of the day.
Yeah, that would have been an extremely difficult play, even though Miller has a strong throwing arm. Rick Ibar going down the line, hitting from the left side, more than likely is going to be able to beat that one out rather easily.
Mentioned Trumbo has taken over in right field for Nelson Cruz, and Dustin Ackley is now in left field. That's the spot where Trumbo moved from. David Freese at the plate. He takes that one low for ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Here's the next pitch, and that's in there for a called strike. 1-1 on Freese. David's had a pair of doubles, pair of runs scored, and a pair of RBIs. Here's the pitch. That breaking ball right in there. Slow curveball. Two-strike pitch. That's way outside. A fastball misses. See what happens on the 2-2. And it's cut on and missed. Struck him out. Freese retired. 1 out, 1 on. C.J. Cron, the next batter. Cron today has had a 1-for-3 ball game. He'll go into the All-Star break with a 7-game hitting streak. And the first pitch, that one taken for ball 1. Just a gorgeous day today here in the Pacific Northwest. Bright sunshine. Here's the pitch. Popped in the air into right center field. That one is going to find a spot and drop in. Trumbo didn't make a real quick move on that one, and it falls a few feet in front of him. He just moved over there to right. Cron has his 2nd hit.
Both hits that way for C.J. Cron in this game. He's starting to get that batting average up himself.
So here is Daniel Robertson as a fielder's choice. It brought in a run. He scored a run. And here's the pitch. That's right in there for a called strike. Well, last night the Angels got shut out. Seattle won it by the final of 5-0. The Angels returning the favor here today, up 9-0 in the 7th. Next delivery popped up. First baseman Morrison behind the bag on the dirt will make the catch in fair territory near the line. That's the 2nd out. Easy play. And Chris Iannetta will be the next batter.
Here's his last at bat, a 2-run home run. That little thing at the bottom of the graphic, 21 home runs in the last 12 games for the Angels. Now giving them 97 as a team.
First pitch on Iannetta, taking that one's a ball to count 1-0.
It's hard to believe a couple of weeks ago, the Angels behind even, obviously the Astros and even Texas playing good baseball, and all of a sudden you look up, it's lead holds. You're in first place at the All-Star break.
Yeah. Angels figured to be in a better position standing-wise this All-Star break than a year ago, even though the record isn't as good this year as it was a year ago. But of course, the Oakland A's were on fire the first half of last season.
And then he made a couple big trades with Samardzija and Lester.
Take a look at the West right now, and there you see the standings, and the Angels would put another win on that 47 if they go on to coast a victory here today. There's a pitch that's taken by Iannetta. He thought it was ball 4. Instead, it was a pitch called a strike.
See where this pitch is at. According to our Fox tracks, catching the bottom part of the strike zone.
So 3-1 on Iannetta with Giovitello waiting on deck.
Boy, and Texas in jeopardy of losing again today. They're losing to San Diego 2-0 in the 9th.
There's one foul back. Yeah, the Angels slowed them down to start this road trip, and I don't know that they've really recovered since then.
That's pretty amazing. The Angels have won the AL West the last 4 times in which they led at the All-Star break.
There's one fouled off on the right side, backing out of play.
Just saying, Terry, just saying.
Well,
a lot of baseball left, that's for sure.
It sounds good and it looks good.
It's better conversation going into that 4-day break.
Yeah, no kidding.
Especially get to watch Trout, Pujols, and potentially Hector Santiago in that All-Star game in Cincinnati.
Here's the next delivery, and Iannetta cuts it that one and misses it, struck him out. So he thought he had a walk earlier, but ends up a strikeout victim. Angels are retired. 7th inning stretch time. All Angels 9-0 in Seattle. Outstanding offense today, and the pitching hasn't been too bad either. You see Andrew Heaney's numbers so far through his first 6 innings today. Heaney has been brilliant in the 4 starts he's made for the Angels since coming up from AAA Salt Lake. Here in the 7th, Montero will lead it off, and then he'll be followed by Morrison and Zunino.
Very efficient with his pitch count. We've seen that every start.
He's set, and the first one right in there. Fastball at 91 miles per hour. Now at 83 pitches today. Next one on Montero. He lifts it in the air into left center field. That ball's carrying, but under and making the grab is Robertson in left center. Angel fans, don't forget, it's time for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag WestDataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming Angels broadcast. It's brought to you by T-Mobile.
Strong fan.
So here's Morrison set to bat.
They're saying, hey, how about me? Some Angel fans here at Safeco.
That's right. There's one to tie. See red in the stands here, as we've seen throughout this series. So a lot of Angel fans in Colorado and Denver. Yeah, really a lot there.
Stuck around for that after that 2-hour and 5-minute rain delay.
Right.
Second game.
There's a pitch that's in there for a called strike. Well, Halo fans have to be happy. The Angels are going to be in first place at the All-Star break, and the Angels were as many as 6.5 games out at one point, and also 7, the most games the Angels were back, and that was back in early May. The Angels were 7 out of first place. So it's taken a while to overtake the Astros, but by day's end, the Angels figure to have done it. There's one that's fouled back, and Houston has pretty much been in first place in this division since early to mid-April. They've had kind of a stranglehold on the division.
Their bullpen
today
was great. Their starting pitching very good. Timely hitting. They scored a lot of runs late. Used the long ball. Can steal some bases.
Here's a little pop left side. Ibar dives and makes the catch. Boy, Eric makes a nice play right there. And we've talked about the lack of defense from Seattle today. Angels defense has been steady.
Look exactly where Eric is playing and how far he's got to go to make this outstanding diving play in the outfield grass with a former Gold Glove winner at shortstop in the American League, Eric Ibar. What a play.
6 in a row retire now by Heaney. Here's Zunino.
Boy, pitching and defense, Terry, won the majority of those games at that homestand. Now the offense and the pitching continues to throw the ball well, and the defense still there. It's putting all those phases together. You're waiting at some point for that to happen. It hasn't really been consistent on the offensive side until especially this road trip, and they've crushed the ball.
There's a pitch on the outside corner. That's a called strike. Heaney is ready, and here's the 1-1. A cut and a miss. He's way in front, 1-2 now on Zunino, who's already struck out a pair of times in this game. The Angels step up in the 8th inning. Top of the batting order, Giovatello, Calhoun, and Trout. Here's the 1-2 pitch. This one is popped into center field. Easy play. Trout there under. He'll squeeze it. And it's another clean inning for the Angels' 24-year-old left-hander Andrew Heaney. We are headed to the 8th inning. All Angels in Seattle up 9-0.
2-0 over the Mariners as we head into the 8th inning. Welcome back, everyone. Ken French back with you. Don't forget, following this one, it's all about Angels Live postgame presented by your SoCal Mazda dealers. Myself, Jose Moto, will bring you the highlights and also preview the All-Star game on Tuesday. 3 Halos now going to Cincinnati with Hector Santiago announced this afternoon. But guys, in the spirit of the last game of the homestand, and since we're in Seattle, it is time for your Frenchipedia fun fact of the afternoon, centering around the 1993 film Sleepless in Seattle. Here we go. Julia Roberts, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Jodie Foster all turned down the role of Annie before Meg Ryan took it. Number 2, Tom Hanks originally turned down the role of Sam. He didn't think he was right for the part. Then he changed his mind. And finally, guys, the Soup Nazi was referenced in the film 2 years before Seinfeld. I bet you didn't know that.
Wow.
And I got to send it back up to you real quickly. Your favorite Tom Hanks movie? I'm going to Forrest Gump.
Yeah, Saving Private Ryan, pretty good too.
Not bad, not bad.
Frenchie, you're fantastic. You are a wealth of information.
Terry Smith, you're killing it. Great job, my friend.
All right, thanks, Frenchie. And I never get Frenchipedia on the radio side. Wow, yes. I enjoyed that. I like it.
Sheer brilliance.
Yes. Johnny Giavotella is the batter as we go to the 8th inning. It's 9-0. Angels on top. This is Fernando Rodney now pitching, the former Angel. And his first delivery of ball, we count 1 ball, no strikes. Been a tough year for Rodney, who was their closer at the beginning of the season. This is his 37th appearance. 16 saves, a 2-3 record, ERA 5.40. 1-1 now on Johnny Giavotella. Here's the next pitch from Rodney, and that one is low. Rodney will not be shooting any imaginary arrows today.
Whoa, Terry.
Not today. Not going to happen.
Well, we know he did it that one time at the Big A in the 8th inning.
Here's the pitch. That's lined into right center field, and that's going to drop in. It could be extra bases. Giavotella is going to head for second, and he will stop there with a stand-up double. That's his second hit of the day, and the Angels' 13th overall.
That's a good piece of hitting right there. Fastball was out over the plate going the other way. We said that a number of times on this road trip. 16 doubles on the season for Giavotella.
So Cole Calhoun, who's gone hitless, will be the next batter. He did pick up a walk his last time up. Looks like Trevor Gott has gotten up in the Angels bullpen. Here's the pitch, chopped foul on the first base side. No balls, 1 strike.
More likely that'll be it for Andrew Heaney, who was outstanding. It's 93 pitches, 7 shutout innings again.
Calhoun getting adjusted in the batter's box. Rodney's next pitch. That's outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rodney's the kind of reliever that when he comes into a situation like this, you almost sense he gets a little bored.
Yeah, he doesn't have quite that edge he would normally do when he's trying to protect the lead.
Right. Taking a lot of time, and Cole Calhoun, tired of waiting on him, backs out of the box. Here's the next pitch. That's inside. It misses, a fastball.
Boy, San Diego did hold on to that lead against Texas. Now the Rangers now 4 games under 500. 42-46 on the season for the Rangers.
And they've won only 3 of their last 11. Here's a bouncing ball hit to the first baseman. Morrison will flip the Rodney covering, and moving on to third will be Giavotella. That's a first out. Mike Trout will be the next batter. Trout's had a good ball game. He's been on base 3 times. He's scored 2 runs. He's had 2 hits. See, Mike Trout today has on the eye black, and because of the sweat, the eye black kind of dropping down his face a little bit.
Depending on what Brian Dozier did for Minnesota, I haven't checked their box score. If he didn't score a run, Mike Trout now would be leading the American League in runs scored, which is pretty amazing. If he does it again this year, it'll be the fourth time in his career he's led the American League in runs scored.
Catcher Zunino had a word with Rodney, and the first one on Trout takes it for a called strike. They've brought the infield in.
When you look at that, the names, no player has ever led in 4 straight years as far as runs. And the other names on that list already: Babe Ruth, Ted Williams, Mickey Mantle, and Mike Trout. Wow.
Yeah. Here's one that's low. We've seen Trout do so many special things already, and just 23 years old.
By the way, Dozier did not score a run in the game, so Trout right now leads the American League in that category.
Rodney's 1-1 on Trout. Fouled back behind the plate. Big inning for the Angels that busted this game open. It was the top of the 6th. Angels sent 11 to the plate, 6 scored. Mariners have struggled defensively in this game, committing 3 errors. They have had no offense in the game against Andrew Heaney. 1-2 pitch on Trout. That's low. 2-2 the count. Angels are going to have a big homestand coming out of the All-Star break, and the opener will be this Friday. It'll be a 10-game homestand. Boston in for 4, Minnesota for 3, Texas for 3, as that one is fouled back. Haven't seen the Minnesota Twins all season. See our old friend Torrey Hunter coming back.
Yeah, they're playing well in Minnesota.
Twins in 2nd place in the AL Central.
Right now, they'd be the 2nd wild card team.
Yeah. 2-2 pitch. Trout bounces one towards Cano. It's going to get the run in. The throw to first will get Trout. That's the 2nd out. Giovatello scores. Angels have a 10-0 lead. Trout getting an RBI, his first in this ball game, and
55 on the season.
Yeah, he's 1 behind Albert in that category.
Still kind of surprised that the infield was in 9-0. Yeah, because he got jammed. There was a slow roller on contact, gets the RBI. More than likely, that could be the game for Mike Trout. Maybe Mike Scioscia gives him a break now.
Mariners have their closer Carson Smith up, and you would say, well, why would they bring in their closer maybe in the 9th inning? And teams are off the next 4 days.
Yeah, you want to get some work.
Sure.
It's funny, coming into the ballpark today, Joe Smith was and Houston Street were joking with each other, and Joe Smith's telling Houston Street, he goes, hey, you got 4 days off with the All-Star break. Why'd you take an early vacation, with the 4 days off here? And yep. Houston came right back, goes, well, hold on a second now, Joe. You haven't even got up yet in the bullpen in the 4 days. So you have a little bit of an early vacation himself. But I would imagine Mike Scioscia would try to get Joe Smith an inning. But it would be funny to see with Houston Street and Joe Smith talking about that down in the bullpen here at the rest of the game.
1-2 on Albert. That's low and outside. 2-2. Albert's had only 2 hits in the 4 games. Here's the next pitch. He takes that one low. So it's a full count. Taijuan Walker, the starting pitcher today for Seattle, came into the ball game without a loss going all the way back to the 3rd of June. And the Angels put 7 on the board against him today, and he would figure to be the losing pitcher. Here's the next delivery. It's ripped foul back to the seats. That one got back there in a hurry past the Angels dugout.
Well, the Angels, for the 4th time in the last 8 games, have scored 10 or more runs. And you mentioned it, Albert Pujols has been swinging the bat okay, but it wasn't as hot as he was just a couple weeks ago, yet the team is still dominating.
No doubt. The pitch, this is rolled right to the shortstop. Miller has it. So we'll get Albert, and that's how the inning will end. 3 groundouts in the inning, but also a double and a run. So we are headed to the bottom of the 8th, and the Angels in command, up 10-0 in Seattle. Bottom of the 8th inning, so Trevor Gott takes over, the 22-year-old right-hander, and he replaces Andrew Heaney, who was great today. Another very good start for Heaney, and every time we've seen him on the mound for the Angels, he's been outstanding. Heaney went 7 innings. He allowed 5 hits, no runs, a walk, 6 strikeouts, had a wild pitch. You see Gott's numbers. 12 appearances with the Angels, a 1-0 record, 1.50 ERA. Taylor Featherston is now the new Angels shortstop. And the Angels also have Carlos Perez over there at first base as Albert Pujols gets the rest of the game off.
He just threw 93 pitches in his 7 shutout innings, 61 strikes.
So here's Brad Miller to lead it off against Trevor Gott. Miller had a pair of hits against Heaney. And here's the pitch. Takes the first one outside. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
Attention media. Here's the line on Los Angeles starter.
Gott's pitch. And that's a little bit low and away. 2 balls and no strikes.
1 walk, 6 strikeouts, 1 wild pitch. 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 walk.
Next delivery, that's fouled off on the left side, backing out of play. It's going to be interesting, Mark, when Jared Weaver comes back, and we'll see how fast that is coming out of the All-Star break.
61 strikes.
Because then all of a sudden you have 6 starting pitchers.
And somebody asked that to Mike Scioscia, would you go to a 6-man rotation? He absolutely said no right away.
Right.
And I don't blame him. And Andrew Heaney, the way he's thrown the baseball, you have to keep him in there.
Yeah, you can't take him out.
He's got 27 1/3 innings pitched this year, 19 hits, and just 4 walks.
And now we see out in the Angels bullpen, Matt Shoemaker is up. There's one fouled off, so I don't know if you read anything into that, especially when Weaver comes back, but someone is going to have to be taken out of the rotation. And it's not going to be Weaver.
No. And I'll tell you, he is so important. That's almost like making a deal at the trade deadline to get your ace back in your rotation. And you look for him to be strong, Weaver. If he could throw like he did last year, remember in the second half how good he was? All of a sudden you got some serious depth, not only at the major league level, but even down in the bullpen if someone's moved down there, and then down at AAA. And Sean Newcomb, who was in the Futures game today, he's going to be a star at some point. So you got flexibility with arms, which every team wants.
Yeah.
And we're getting close to that trade deadline also.
So full count, 3-2 here on Miller, and Gott is ready for the payoff pitch. Lifted in the air into center field. Trout has to go back, still back, jumps up and makes the catch.
Why not?
You're not going to get it over his head. There's just no way. Trout does it again.
Playing shallow and going back on the baseball once again. Mike Trout, outstanding. The read, the leap, and the play.
Yep. And Trevor Gott loves every second of that. Austin Jackson at the plate, and that one is in there for a strike. Here's the pitch. A little bit low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. The other part of that whole thing, when Weaver gets back, the Angels right now have a couple of struggling relievers in the bullpen. Vinny Pistano and Mike Morin. So we'll see how that whole situation plays out. And just when you think you can predict it, things have a way of changing. So
there's 4 days in between this game and then the first game back from that so-called second half of the season.
Right.
Certainly Trevor Gott has done tremendous stuff. And he's been put into those tough situations for a youngster who never pitched above AA prior to this year. What an arm he has.
2-2 pitch. And that was a breaking ball there that missed. So it's a full count on Jackson, who's had a 1-for-3 ball game. The last 8 Mariners have been retired.
Once he gets a better feel for that slider, and it's getting there, he's going to just absolutely be dominant.
Here's one that's chopped on the right side. That's going to skip through, roll on out to Cole Calhoun. So that is hit number 2 of the day for Austin Jackson. And fans, the Angels take on the Texas Rangers on July the 24th. Game time 7:05 at the Big A. Fans in attendance receive a Hawaiian shirt courtesy of Total Oil while supplies last. Purchase tickets at the Angel Stadium ticket office or at angels.com.
I'm sensing a theme there. Hawaiian week.
That's right. There's one in there for a called strike. Robinson Cano at the plate. Quiet day, pretty quiet in the series as well. Next pitch, that one's low. Angels will likely be heading home, having completed a 7-2 road trip and heading back home in first place in the AL West. Here's the pitch. That one is a pitch that misses low. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Angels, if they do win today, will be in first place for the first time since the 17th of April. Almost 3 months ago.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Think about from that homestand to this road trip. 13-5 potentially.
There's a ball. It's lined into right center. That's going to fall in for a hit. Cano on at first. Moving to third base is Jackson. So they have a little something brewing here with 1 out. And Dustin Ackley will be the next batter. This will be his first at bat today.
Still does such a smooth swing for Robinson. Cano hit that ball well to right center field. Dropped the head of the bat, got the barrel on the baseball.
So 7 hits now in the game for Texas, or for Seattle, I should say, as Ackley gets ready to dig in there. Seager waiting on deck. Here's the pitch. That's a pitch in there for a called strike. 0-1 to count. Here's the next delivery, way outside. Got missing with that one. So his ball strike ratio not where he would like it right now. They have a couple on base with 1 out against him. 20 pitches, 9 of them have been out of the strike zone. Here's the pitch. That's popped foul, and that's going to get back and out of play on the left side. So still 1-2. Ackley hitting just .222. Here's the 2-strike delivery, and another one fouled off. Dustin Ackley was the second player selected in the entire 2009 draft. First round pick of the Seattle Mariners. Made his big league debut in 2011 and chops this one over on the first base side. Ball was dropped by Perez as he was looking to throw to second, so he ends up getting an out. On the play, a run scores, and they're cheering because Seattle has put a run on the board here in the bottom of the 8th inning. It's now 10-1.
And that's why, as a pitcher, you always get over to that base and stay there just in case the throw's not going to be able to make the second, so you get that force out at first base. Way to stay with it. Carlos Perez hasn't played a whole lot of first base, obviously. Catcher. But Trevor Gott being in that position, able to get that out at first base.
So 2 outs in the inning, a run on the board. Here's Seager batting, and he takes that one for a called strike. Gott is ready as he okays the sign from Chris Iannetta. Next pitch, grounded on the right side. That's going to skip through for a base hit. They are going to wave home Cano, and he will score. Well, the Mariner fans, they just wanted something to cheer about here. They have gone wild with their first 2 runs in this ball game. It's 10-2.
Yeah, they when this team is playing well, they could fill this stadium up, and the anticipation of this series, especially when 2 of the first 3 games, big crowd here again today. It's been all Angels this entire game. They score a couple runs here in the 8th, though. Seager certainly's had himself a real good series. 3 hits again today.
Yeah, he's had 9 hits in the series. Have a pinch runner over there at first base.
So Chris Taylor.
So Seager's day is done. Trumbo batting now, fouls that one off on the right side. Mark Trumbo in the hole. It's no balls, 2 strikes. Here's Gott's next pitch. That's fouled back behind the plate. This has been a long inning for him.
Don't see that too often with him either.
Yeah. Hasn't been throwing as many fastballs as you normally see from him. 2-strike pitch.
That was a fastball.
And he got him. Trumbo got tied up and not struck him out. Second time he's been a strikeout victim. Mariners get a pair, but the Angels lead by 8, 10-2 as we head to the ninth.
Call 1-855-1-TWC. By Mercury Insurance, on a mission to save you money. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com to get a fast, free quote and see how much you can save. And by Hyundai, great deals on amazing cars are going on now at your Hyundai dealer. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
We go to the ninth inning here in Seattle, top of the ninth. Angels up 10-2. New pitcher Carson Smith. He's their closer, just getting in a final inning of relief before the All-Star break. Good numbers this season, low ERA. Replaced Rodney as their closer. This will be his 38th appearance of the season.
He's got a good power fastball, 91 to 96, but that slider though, devastating slider. Occasional changeup.
Chris Taylor stays in the ball game. He is now at third base. And Taylor Featherston is going to lead things off. He's batting for the first time, hitting out a I-bar spot. And the first pitch, that one is in there for a strike.
One inning pitched. One hit.
Featherston hitting just 117.
One earned run.
Next delivery, cuts and misses that one. The count, 0-2.
1 run. 1 earned run.
Mike Scioscia has gotten some reserves in this ball game now with Perez and Featherston, Robertson in there for the Angels. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Here's the pitch, and that one is cut on and missed. He got him, struck him out.
That is a nasty slider, especially from that arm angle he throws it at. Not easy to come into a game at the face. Him right here, the way he's throwing the baseball. Smith is nasty.
So in the ball game today, Seattle pitchers with 10 strikeouts, but the Angels also have 10 runs. There's one on the outside corner called strike on David Freese. He's driven in a couple of those Angel runs and also scored a couple of them. Pair of doubles. Here's the next pitch, and that one is inside a fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Infield is backed up. Outfield shading Freese a bit the opposite way. Next pitch, that's low and outside. 2-1 to count. Carson Smith, pretty big guy, goes about 6'6". He pitched briefly last year for Seattle and had kind of a breakout year for them this year. There's one fouled off on the right side, backing out of play. 2-2 on Freeze.
Freeze had that big double to dead center field off the top of the wall back in the 6th inning. Also doubled in the 2nd. And with 17 doubles on the season.
And he swings and misses that one. Got him on a slider as well. Back-to-back strikeouts for Carson Smith. 2 are gone here in the Angels' 9th. C.J. Cron will be the next batter. Carson Smith has been a big strikeout pitcher this season, and also been a guy that has been a strike thrower. Only 6 walks now, 47 strikeouts in 36 innings. Pretty good numbers. First one a ball here on Cron.
Cron has 15 hits on this road trip.
Here's the next pitch. Lifts this one in the gap in right center field, and that's going to split the outfielders. The ball's going to take a bounce out there and go over the wall. So a ground rule double.
I think that's 16 hits on this road trip.
And 8 of them here in this 4-game series.
And all 3 hits today to that side of the field. And that's exactly what we saw in Tempe all spring training long from C.J. Cron, using that part of the field and driving the ball with authority. That certainly was crushed against a very good pitcher, Carson Smith. Good swing for C.J. Cron.
So here's Robertson batting. Been up a couple of times, 0 for 2 with a run batted in, and takes the first one for a called strike. All Angels today here in Seattle. This has been a very solid game. Really one of the better games the Angels have played this season. Pitching has been very good. Defense solid. A lot of offense. There's one checking the swing on it is Robertson, and they say he went after it, so he's in the hole, 0-2. Outfield not very deep at all, and shading Robertson the opposite way. The next pitch, he chops this one out to the shortstop, handled there by Miller. His throw is in time, and the inning is over. Angels had a hit, but no runs in the inning. We are headed to the 9th. Angels are 3 outs away from going into first place in the AL West. And the Angels will bring in Matt Shoemaker to take over, look to get the final 3 outs in this ball game, and he will be making his first relief appearance of the season. 16 starts coming into today, 4-7 record, 4.80 ERA. Numbers on Trevor Gott, who worked last inning. Gott allowed 3 hits and 2 runs earned in his 1 inning of work. Didn't walk, and he struck out 1. So Matt Shoemaker, first relief appearance of the season.
A chance to get some work in, and how you get acclimated to potentially be that role for Matt Shoemaker. We don't know that yet. And also what it allows him to be is aggressive coming out of the bullpen and challenging hitters right away, then utilizing that split finger fastball at some point. Get back to that swing and miss with his splitter.
So we're going to have a pinch hitter, Seth Smith. He'll be the batter. He's batting for Montero. Last time we saw Shoemaker was last Wednesday. He started against the Rockies. Angels won that game 3-2, but Shoemaker did not figure in the decision, but did a pretty good job in that start. Pitching certainly at Coors Field, tough for a guy who's a fly ball pitcher, and Shoemaker gave up only 2 runs working into the 6th inning in that ball game last week.
Really, three straight solid starts for Shoemaker.
Here's a pitch that's in there for a called strike. 1-1 the count.
180 pitch, 3 hits, 2 runs.
Shift is on. 3 infielders on the right side. Seth Smith hitting .265 and hits this one high, and he hits it deep into right, and you can kiss it goodbye. Well, there was little doubt about that one. That ball jumped out in a hurry. Smith with his 8th home run of the season, and now it's a 10-3 Angels lead.
And that pitch a little bit too much in the strike zone ahead of the count. That splitter again. It just didn't quite get the bottom drop out and go out of the strike zone. Stayed at knee level, which becomes a hittable pitch against the left-handed batter. That's the thing for Shu this year. Has to be able to get many swing and misses with that splitter.
Morrison at the plate. That's a pitch, I guess, ideally you'd like to see that one almost bounce in.
Every time. Your mindset has to be bounce it. Because especially if you've established the fastball down at the knees in the strike zone, then they have to chase.
Here's one that's low on Logan Morrison, so it's 2 balls and no strikes. Morrison's had an 0-for-3 ball game. Here's the next delivery. He cuts it that one and fouls it off on the left side, backing out of play. That was a fastball at 91. Two-one pitch, low. Angels infielders are all backed up. Freeze is way off the line, the third baseman, and Featherston, the shortstop, kind of shaded towards second. Corner outfielders in the gaps for the most part, especially Cole Calhoun, the right fielder. Here's the next one, and that is in there. Checking the swing, Morrison hits a strike, 3-2. Mariners have scored the last 3 runs in this ball game, but that's far from being enough for them. Angels up by 7 in the bottom of the 9th. There's a pitch that's cut on and missed, and Morrison is trying to say he foul tipped it. Ball picked up by Iannetta, fires over to first base to complete the strikeout, 1 away.
And that's one of those splitters down in the dirt to get a swing and miss.
So here's Zunino, the catcher.
See that right there? He starts at the knees and the splitter hits the dirt. That's what you want to try to do with that pitch. Good adjustment by Shoemaker.
Here's the pitch on Zunino, and he fouls that one back On that splitter, Gooby, when you get the better dip on it and bounce it in like we saw him get on the strikeout against Morrison, is it a matter of throwing that pitch harder?
And staying on top of it, too. There's times where you can see where his wrist is just tilted enough where it has more lateral type movement instead of that sink straight down. And then the harder you throw it, especially if you stay on top, the better chance you're going to see the hitter swing at it because he's reading the fastball.
Right. 1-1 pitch, popped up foul. It's going to get back to the seats and out of play.
And that's a very important pitch for Shoemaker.
Oh, yeah.
And his velocity has picked up since he's made that adjustment with Mike Butcher, a little bit longer, more deliberate over the pitching rubber, where we've seen some 94 of late. But he's going to settle in around 90-92 range. But that split finger fastball is extremely important for him to get back to where he was last year.
There's one that didn't miss by much. That was a fastball, and that was 94 miles per hour. 2-2 on Zunino.
And this is the one when you might think about that hard split finger fastball to get a swing and miss.
2-2. This one is grounded right to second. Giavitello has an easy play, and one more out to go. So after the leadoff homer to Seth Smith, the pinch hitter, next two have been retired easily. Brad Miller will be the next batter. Miller's had a pair of hits. Their 9-hole hitter today, 2 for 3. Shoemaker, pitcher number 3 of the day. Great outing by Andrew Heaney. The next pitch lifted in the air, hit well in the right center field. Cole Calhoun has a beat on it. He'll make the grab out there in right center on the warning track, and that's how this ball game comes to an end. Angels come away with the victory. Great road trip, taking 7 out of the 9. Halos win it here 10-3. You can put a halo over this one.
Ah, I'd love to hear you say that, Terry. It's good to see you here in the booth with me today. Good job, by the way, Terry, and a great job by the Angels hitters today with 14 hits, 10 runs, 2-run home run by Chris Iannetta. C.J. Cron, a big game himself, 3 hits, a couple big doubles by David Freese. Mike Trout once again is dealing. Scored a couple more runs, now leads the American League in that category. Andrew Heaney was absolutely dominant today on the mound, as he has been now 3-0. Taijuan Walker takes loss, falls to 7-7, but a great road trip, 7-2, coming off a solid homestand, 6-3. That means 13-5 in the last 18 games for the first place Angels.
Yep, been a long road back to first place for the Angels, but that's where the Angels are now as we go into the All-Star break. Of course, the All-Star game coming up on Tuesday in Cincinnati, and then the Angels will be back in action to resume the second half of the season this Friday with the Boston Red Sox coming to town. A big 4-game series coming up, Angels and Red Sox starting on Friday at the Big A. Well played game for the Angels today. Defense solid, 14 hits as Gooby mentioned, 10 runs, and Angels got some very strong starting pitching from Andrew Heaney. We're going to take you down by the Angels dugout. Looks like my friend Jose Mota is standing by with Angels catcher Chris Iannetta.
Terry, it's so nice to hear your voice, and by the way, great job here, Mark, the last couple of days. Chris Iannetta, certainly momentum is big, and what you guys did this road trip really tells about the character of this ball club. How rewarding is it to say the Angels are in first place?
Yeah, we've been battling. We said it over and over again. When asked the question, I've constantly said, if we play 500 ball, we'll get hot in our stretches and we'll be where we want to be in the end, and that's what we've done. We've avoided protracted losing streaks, and we've been good.
Andrew Heaney continues to impress.